All right, time for the week that was with Melanie Wilkinson joining us here in studio. Melanie, how are you?
I'm good. It's been a big morning already, so you're going to get a little bit of breaking news right now.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be writing about it, so it's not on the site yet. After 5 years of conversation, a lot of debate, public hearings, a lot of meetings before the Planning Commission and the County Board, with a split vote of 3-2, the county commissioners have approved solar zoning regulations for York County. It's a big deal.
This has been a long process.
Especially because when the comprehensive plan was done in 2015, this concept didn't exist.
Right.
Solar fields don't exist in our comprehensive plan. There's never been any zoning regulations for it. What prompted the conversation, of course, was the very large project that's being proposed and undertaken by OPPD over in the McCool area. Their project, which, to put it in perspective, would be the size of half of the size of the city of York. So in that perspective, you can kind of gauge, besides the number of acres, that's how large this would be. Now, while that is what prompted the conversation, this is for all of York County for the future also. What they agreed with, and there's many pages, which I will have most of all that will be posted on the website here shortly. But what they've agreed to are the very large half-mile setbacks away from properties that are not participating in the project. That's been the biggest point of contention. 2 commissioners said they felt that they were unreasonable. 3 said that they are reasonable and with the intent to protect agriculture in York County. So now we will see what happens.
What is the next step?
Okay, so the next step will be projects will have to come forward to the county commissioners for special applications, special use permits. And then there will be more conversation about each project as it pertains to itself, but using these regulations as they are. Now, I wouldn't be remiss to notice that there probably might be some legal, litigation, because some have argued that the setbacks are so far that they would create a situation where someone couldn't even do a project because it wouldn't be feasible. We'll see how this is going to play out. There's a lot of these cases going on in the state right now, and some of these cases have gone to court, and so everybody's trying to see where all of those, opinions lie, but right now, York County does have zoning regulations.
And this happened in the county commissioners meeting
It just happened 10 minutes ago.
Tuesday morning.
Yeah, Tuesday morning.
You just came in here.
I just came in here. So this is
we've got some news to talk about.
I haven't written
today.
about it, but I will here shortly. But yes. Oh, what a long conversation.
Yeah, you can find that at justmelaniew.com.
Yes.
So also several other stories happening. I want to talk about the copper wire situation. I know the York County Sheriff's Office has been alerting people that the thieves are back.
They are. Well, it's so sickening. As soon as it gets warmer out, they start in. So, pivots, they're everywhere.
Yep.
There's, thousands of them
Just
in the
drive
county.
down a county road,
they're everywhere.
see them. Yep.
All of them have copper wires on them. And right now, the price of copper is very high. And they're taking the opportunity, they being thieves, are taking the opportunity to physically go out, I guess, crawl on the pivots and take off the wire. Then
the effort to do all of
wouldn't
this.
you just go get a job?
Exactly.
I mean, and plus you're going to have to do this in the middle of the night.
Right.
So you're not seen.
Right.
Because farmers are out and about, they're out doing their thing. So, and they did catch one person who was trying to sell off a large amount of it in Iowa. I'm not really sure the connection. I haven't got all that information yet about how they put it together with what happened here. But I remember there was, 2015, 2016. The theft was just off the charts, and it was just creating such a problem and an expense for farmers who are going to be using these pivots shortly. And so obviously the deputies can't be all over watching out in the rural areas all the time. But what they are asking is that if you see a vehicle that doesn't seem to belong, meaning maybe an out-of-state vehicle or something that just doesn't seem right, go ahead and get their license plate numbers, but call it in right away.
Yep.
Because don't wait 2 days, because once those people have done what they want to do, they're going to go. They're not going to come and hang around. If you tell them right away, then the deputies can go out and hopefully catch them.
So get the license plate number, call right away.
Don't talk to them and don't
go
confront them.
Exactly.
But just get their license plate if you can and let them know so they can go out and take care of it right away.
Gotcha. So
it's so gross that we even have to talk about it, but that's the reality of the world. So,
well, it's just some better stuff. Some York things are happening. Project Grow. Can you tell us about that? Because Project Grow's coming about this spring.
Project Grow is the neatest thing. Years ago, when the city purchased farm ground for our well fields out on the east side of town, they set aside a space that is to encourage pollinators and different kinds of farming practices, but they also created a space where people can have gardens. Mm-hmm. So if you want to have a garden, I don't know, do you have a garden at your house?
I do not.
Okay.
I have my parents big gardeners, so
Yes.
I'm used to it, but I currently do not have a
Well,
garden. Yeah.
not a lot of people have space in their yards if they live in town. Maybe they just want a little area to just do a few things. Yeah. They can actually apply for a little spot, the size that they want. They have to go through the Upper Big Blue NRD to do it. There's a place that they can go. I have the link on my website where you fill out your application. You say how much space you want. There is a fee that you have to pay for water and I believe tillage, which is another great benefit because that means they're going to plow it for you. They'll give you water out there. It's your responsibility to weed it, and it is your produce. I mean, it does belong to you. Now we've had some looters in the past. Bob Sauter, he used to be the director of the York County Visitors Bureau. And if he's listening to this, sorry, Bob, but you always talked about it. He every year he would grow these massive cabbages and these beautiful watermelons. And just as everything would be ready to go, he'd go out to get it and somebody had already taken them. And it happened year after year after year. I don't know if he's still going to plant out there, but I do know if anybody wants to steal, they have put cameras up now.
Yes.
So they can tell if you're out poaching.
Check that out. And there's a lot of land too. It looks like 160 acres of the total 400 acre well field are used for this. That's a lot of land to use.
It was a pilot project at the time. I think other municipalities have, joined in on this effort.
Right.
So it's good for the health of people, but it's also good for especially older people. They can go out and do something that they might enjoy where they might not have the opportunity to do that otherwise. So.
And this is with the Upper Big Blue as well, by the way. So
it's on land that is owned by the city, but you go through the NRD as they maintain this area.
Right.
So you go to them and they'll help you with it.
You can find information on those forms there by going to their website, upperbigblue.org. So that is coming up here in York. Also want to talk about, the new hotel, the Hyatt Hotel getting underway.
The city's been, I think there's been talk and negotiations on this project for quite some time, and they really kept it on the down low because to all of us regular people, it seems like it just popped up.
Right. And there's two different ones now. There's one by the interstate, by the Wendy's, right?
And that one's being built.
Yes, currently. And then there's this new one by the Holtis Convention Center.
Now this Hyatt is going to be, right next door to the convention center. They will have, and then of course with any hotel, you're going to have a lot of parking, but that parking will also be shared with the convention center. So it will actually grow on the hotel's dime. Will actually grow then the parking space for the convention center. And I think that's part of the agreement too, because tax increment financing is being allowed for this project to take place to help them make that happen. But, like you talk to a lot of city officials and they that were around when the convention center was built, and they said they've always wanted to see a hotel be really close. It's not attached to the convention center, but it's within really short walking, hardly any walking distance.
So ideally, when there are conventions in York that bring people from out of town, maybe they're at the hotel.
Obviously,
conveniently walk.
And the way it sounded like the timeline is going to be quick. Like they want this thing open next spring already. So, and it adds more rooms available for people coming in for ball tournaments and whatever it is besides going to the convention center. So that's, wow, 2 big hotels in 1 year.
Yep, absolutely. The Hyatt too. It's a nice brand.
Yeah, right they're calling it Hyatt Studios. So I haven't seen any details on what they're offering, but I'm assuming they're going to, if it says studios, does that mean like a suite? I guess we're going to find out.
Couple rooms, right?
We're going to find out. There's going to be a groundbreaking, I'm sure. Within the next month.
Coming up later on. So to kind of wrap this up, I want to chat about the citywide cleanup project, the spruce cleanup project.
This is neat because it's easy to call the city and complain about properties that need to be cleaned up and trash blowing by the interchange. You know, we do this every year. Well, so now they're trying to get people, let's get an effort together. They've designated April and May both as months for people to get involved, to help clean up the parks, do things like that. But the city is offering free landfill services. A lot of the time, the cost, we hear this, the cost of paying the landfill fees is sometimes what keeps people from taking care of their properties, getting rid of dead trees and things like that. So on April 25th and 26th, from 9 to noon, people can take things out to the landfill for free, well within reason. They aren't.
There will be surcharges on items.
There'll be surcharges on some things.
Items.
They're not taking tires.
Right.
And the obvious thing, but this is for the city, but this is also for the county residents, residential. This isn't this is just residential. But because the county is in they have an agreement with the city. They run this landfill as a group. So that means county residents can also take advantage of it. So, boy, it's an opportunity to get rid of stuff in your yard that you don't want, especially after we had this blizzard. Now, I know that they designated an area for people to take large limbs and things like that. But if you still want to get rid of things, then this is your opportunity. Don't waste it. You know, and it's a chance they're encouraging people to help their neighbors. Maybe you have an elderly person who's just not able to take care of things. There's also an upcoming cleanup day at Wessel's Living History Farm. While I'm thinking about it, I don't remember the date. I just put it on the site. It's coming up rather soon. And you can sign up to take times to help, whether it's trimming hedges or doing, just work out there. That's all needs to be volunteer. That's a big thing. So that's just a chance for people to make York look a little bit better. Also, the Visitors Bureau just created an app where you can show project pictures.
Pretty much, yeah. So the York County Visitors Bureau, and we're going to have, I think Alex coming to talk about that later on this week. But through their app, you can volunteer for city projects or show off your cleanup efforts. Just download their app. There's a QR code that you can scan and then sign in and find the Spring Spruce Up section. And then you can use the icons to sign up for the project and post your own project photos. Kind of show off a little bit right there, and I'm sure, it could be like a little contest.
I think so. It's kind of like a challenge to other people. So I think that's okay.
Good stuff.
I think that's awesome. So so that is the news from the week.
Well, spring cleaning, right?
Spring cleaning and zoning and copper thieves.
Yeah, get them out of here. Get them out of here. Melanie, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you. See you next week.